It's Glow here, and today I'm going to give you a tour and talk about my experiences with this huge aqua lab. So first, I'm going to talk about my 20-gallon community aquarium. This tank has a stocking of tiger barbs, walking catfish, lemon tetras, red-eyed tetras, a single rainbow shark, and zebra danios. It also has 4 widow tetras. This tank is my oldest tank. It was established almost 2 years ago, and the tiger barbs are the only surviving fish from the beginning. But anyway, the most recent addition are these 2 lemon tetras, which you have never seen before in none of my videos. So they are really beautiful. They are red with a white lining to the fins and black spots near the gills and fins. I'd say these are one of the most beautiful fish in my tank. And then we have the future giants, the catfish, the walking catfish specifically. They are the white elongated fish with whiskers, if you can see them clearly. And then I have the widow tetras, also known as the skirted tetras. I have black skirt tetras and white skirt tetras. The white skirt tetras are an albino variant, while the black skirt tetras are the normal ones. The black skirt tetras are like silverish with black stripes and a blackish anal fin. That's what I suppose it's called. And after that, we have the red-eyed tetras, which are don't seem to be really beautiful at first, but if you look at them from above, the scales are like really beautiful. They look like an arowana from the top actually. That's one way why the red-eyed tetras are found really beautiful. Anyway, the red-eyed tetras are the silvery fish with a small red mark above the eye, like that one there. And then finally, we also have the zebra danios, which are kind of the tiniest fish in the tank. They are pure white. I have only the white variant, but there are variants of other colors as well. Now we move on to the solitary rainbow shark. It is what you are seeing right now, the white fish with red fins. I bought it alone because they are known to fight with each other, which I really don't want in this tank. So my observations in this tank, which are quite a few because I've been having it for 2 years, are that tiger barbs are really quite aggressive. They have even killed a few fish in the past, which I have talked about in some of my older videos. And one more thing I've noticed is that since the addition of the catfish, the tank has become a whole lot more active, because I think that the catfish with their huge appetites pose a competition to the rest of the fish, which makes the rest of the fish even more active and voracious when eating. So this is my amazing 20-gallon community tank, and let's move on to the next tank. This is my 5-gallon shrimp tank. It is also an amazing ecosystem in such a tiny space. You better go and take a look at some of my exclusive shrimp videos, because today most of the shrimp seem to be hiding in the moss, so you can't really get a good look at them. And look, this is a Malayan shrimp that's pregnant. You can kind of see its eggs there. It's a bit hard. Do you see the more dark brown area in its swimmerets? Yeah, so anyway, this tank has 3 species of shrimp: yellow really, red cherry, and Malayan shrimp. And there were some tiger shrimp in there in the past. Now, this tank has a large variety of other aquatic life, including the snail you see right there. That is a ram's horn snail, getting its name from its curved shell that looks like a ram's horn. And then there is also another type of snail, but I'm not really sure which species it is. It is kind of gray. It's a bit hard to see because, yeah, you see it there. It's kind of grayish brown, with a reticulated pattern shell. If you know what I mean, it's kind of like crisscrossing strings. That's the pattern of shell. It's really beautiful. I don't know if you can see it perfectly. Yeah. So this one just suddenly appeared and it has not reproduced yet, so I'm not 100% sure about it. So, one more interesting thing I noticed is that the snails undergo a kind of metamorphosis in color, the ramshorn snails. When they're babies, they are kind of yellowish and monocolored, and you can see one there. And when they're adults, they get those fabulous stripes. You can see the baby there, they're kind of monocolored. But when they get older, they get two or three colors and get those fabulous stripes and stuff. So, yeah, there is a bit of color change between age. And do you see that rock there? There are some shrimps sitting on it. And they are grazing on algae. This rock is actually from my 20-gallon community tank, which I just showed you some time ago. Anyway, the shrimp population has gone on a roller coaster since then, since the beginning. In the beginning, I started off with around 12 shrimp, and then after some time, they slowly started dying out. They weren't doing too well, and they weren't breeding. And even if they bred, the babies were just dying out. So we thought that our moss wasn't thriving enough at first. It was our first hypothesis to increase the population in the shrimp tank. And I interrupt this thing to just show you something really cool. This is the flatworm of planaria. There are loads of them in this tank. Totally amazing. They just immediately popped up. There was literally nothing, and they just suddenly popped up. They're really cool. And they divide in half to reproduce, believe it or not. And now, to continue, I our first hypothesis was that the moss was not growing well enough and the shrimp were not getting enough space to breed. So we tried it out, planting new moss and adding the light, and that seemed to increase the population at first, but didn't go up much. So then our next hypothesis was that our population density wasn't enough for the size of tank. We had probably only about 15 shrimp in a 5 gallon, while the recommended maximum population is 50. So we kind of had two less. So our hypothesis was that they weren't able to reach each other to mate, and the babies were not able to find much food really. So we added some extra shrimp, and that really worked out. And the population increased like crazy. And just and I will show you something completely amazing. See that? That's a completely thick and impenetrable blanket of moss. This moss has been growing amazing. And especially since the light is directly above it, it just completely carpets the area. And this is where pregnant shrimp, shrimplets, snails, flatworms, everything hides down here. It is completely amazing. This is probably one of the most biodiverse areas in the whole shrimp tank. Anyway, there is some imminent bad news, or I wouldn't say that for sure, but we have just hit the third generation of shrimp, which might seem like good news, but usually when third or fourth generation, something called inbreeding takes place, um, where family members breed and the babies are genetically deformed and are not able to survive. So that happened to a friend of mine after I think his third generation. So I'm just worried about that. So hopefully it doesn't happen to us, but I really doubt that. So maybe after that we can try some more shrimp or something else. Anyway, but still, that's not going to come very soon. We at least have 1 or 2 months to go. Meanwhile, I'll still enjoy it. And, no, and one more thing you would notice is that there are a lot of pregnant shrimp in here. See that? There is a pregnant red cherry shrimp down here. I'm not 100% sure if you can see it too well. That one there, it's pregnant actually. So, and one interesting thing that I observed is that the Malayan shrimps have black eggs, while the red cherry shrimp and the yellow really shrimp have like a, a whitish yellowish eggs between white and yellow cream, something like that. And the amazing thing is that look at that Malayan shrimp. You see, it's like not exactly black like Malayan shrimp are supposed to be. It's more of a grayish brown. I've noticed that it's something to do with genetics. This is my hypothesis that there's some kind of predator hunting down all the darkly colored Malayan shrimp, which are not able to camouflage too well, while the ones that are almost transparent or lightly colored are able to camouflage better. So they survive. And the second generation is much more lighter than the first generation. That's how I distinguish it. And this is not only in Malayan shrimp. I also do see it in the other shrimps as well, but to a lesser degree. Anyway, let's move on to the next. Oh wait, what is that? That is a mass of snail eggs. They are kind of like the eggs are inside and coated by jelly. This tank is completely full of surprises all the time. So, you see, it's kind of like a globe settled on the soil. It's really amazing. So anyway, the shrimp. I think the shrimp is trying to eat it. I'm not really sure. And so this tank has really had a lot of aquatic life. See that? That's again a shrimp eating its mold, which is not uncommon among crustaceans, so that they can reabsorb the calcium lost in their mold. So anyway, let's move on to the next one. This is my 10-gallon lobster tank, and you may all be wondering, where's the female? Where's the female? I'll tell you about that later. Meanwhile, I'll just give you an update on this tank for those who don't know. The male, surprisingly, has actually started eating. And for those who haven't been following, the male kind of never ate. He didn't eat for 3 months. And now he started eating well. He still only takes a pellet each day, but it's nothing compared to the female who sometimes takes 2 pellets. But still, he's eating, which is good. And this species is the tangerine crayfish. And I've been keeping these guys for, I think, half a year, almost, I think, closer to 3/4 of a year. So it's been really a blast keeping these guys. And I even was fortunate enough to witness them mating and even breeding, but unfortunately the babies died out. But you can actually see the babies in some of my older videos when they were young. So now, now to just give you a look at this amazing crustacean. It is about 3.5 inches long. This male specifically, he's not really large. But what you can see in this male is that his claws are large, very large in comparison to his body. And the ratio of claw to body is more in males compared to females. Males need it to intimidate other males, and which they are trying to fend off to get the rights to mate with the female. Anyway, so this male is, I've seen that he likes to climb up on stuff, and like he's just been sitting around the filter since I moved out the female. So I think that's pretty much all about the lobster tank. Now, just to get you a sneak peek on the female and tell why she's not being seen. Oh well, this is the female, as good as ever. Now to why she was separated. So basically, the male did something really savage. He ripped out one of her claws again, which already happened once, which is really bad. And he also ripped out 4 of her legs. I didn't really want him to like attack her more, and this was right after her mold, so she was kind of vulnerable. Now you see, she's pretty much fine, but I just want those legs to grow back so that she will be safe. And anyway, this is just like to show her aggression and stuff, which all of you, I presume, already know about. You know that the female is really aggressive. I've observed that. And if I put in food, she'll lunge at it. And if I put in tweezers to move the food, she'll try to pinch at it and climb up to pinch at me again. So, one surprising thing about this female is that do you see that black coloration on her body? It's actually something that happens to crayfish. I'm not 100% sure how. Maybe it's because of their porous skin. Whenever they're in dark substrate, they absorb the color and develop dark patterns all over their body. That's what happened to my friend's crayfish quite a few times. So this is what happened. I by mistake put in some dark substrate along with the food, and she kind of absorbed it. It's really crazy. And anyway, see how aggressive she is, and she kind of wants food. I'll make sure to feed her, or maybe I can just feed her and show it to you now. Oh well, I'll just feed her. See that? Do you see my hand? This is the pellet, and oh no, it's floating. That's the problem with these pellets. Sometimes they actually float. And now I'll drop it in. Wait, where is it? I'm not 100% sure. Did she miss it? Oh yes, it's right there. She's gonna get it soon. Well, sometimes she doesn't notice it when it's right in front of her face. Did she get it? Yes, looks like she has, which is good. Did she? I'm not really 100% sure. No, she didn't. I'll just pick it out. Oh no, she's trying to attack me. This is going to be a much more entertaining episode than you might have thought. Oh yes, she's got it. She's almost got it. Yeah, so my crayfish goes kind of crazy every time there's food or anything even touches the water. So let's move on to the next one. So this is my two betta tanks actually, or bowls rather. So the top one has a surprise for you, which I'm going to show later. And this one has the good old female betta. She's kind of skittish as ever, and she really likes to play pranks with me. She'll sometimes just sit on the bottom without moving at all, and I think that she's going to die like tomorrow or something. But then tomorrow she's as fine as ever. So I don't know if she does that because she's old, or maybe she just wants to play tricks on me. I'm not 100% sure. So anyway, she has survived longer than her the male I bought with her. So anyway, so she is still alive and doing well and eating well. Though her eating has gone down a bit, but not to lethal levels. She still takes 4 pellets every day. Anyway, now to show you the surprise. So this is a new male betta, and it's so gorgeous. Just look at its patterns. It's such an amazing animal. And it has red, a tiny bit of blue, I'm not sure if you can see that, and white. That's an amazing animal if you ask me. And look how aware it is. It's kind of, I'm not sure now if it's in the mood. Yeah, see that? It follows my hand. It's really an amazing animal, and believe it or not, it's been with me only for I think a week or two. That's all, and it's already imprinted on my hand. And you see that kind of raft of bubbles? That's the beginnings of a bubble nest, or should I say the endings, because that was a bubble nest that had broken down. But yeah, that shows this male has started to build bubble nests. That's amazing. We can try breeding this female again after our failed attempts with the previous male. The female did something really bad. She cut up the male's fins when we introduced them. So this male probably, this tank is too small for him to build a nice big bubble nest. So we're probably going to switch their tank sometime soon. So anyway, this I'm really waiting to maybe hopefully get some betta babies, which I'm really excited for. So Let's move on to the next tank. Or not really a tank. So I have giant, awesome, mega surprise for you. I'm not going to show it to you today. So I'm just going to read out a riddle to see who can guess it. They swim in a serpentine motion, kicking up substrate like brewing a potion. They live in a 10 gallon. They are more amazing than you can fathom. Yeah, so this is some clues to a huge surprise I have. So tune in next time to find out this amazing surprise. And this is an overview of all my tanks, and that's my whole aqua lab. So this is Animals Galore signing up.